The universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old. It contains an estimated 2 trillion galaxies. Each galaxy contains hundreds of billions of stars. Most of those stars have planets. Many of those planets sit in the habitable zone. Not too hot, not too cold, the right conditions for liquid water, for chemistry, for life. By the numbers, the universe should be absolutely full of intelligent civilizations. Some of them should have had billions of years head start on us. Some of them should have already spread across entire galaxies. Some of them should be detectable from Earth right now. Their signals, their structures, their presence, impossible to miss. We have found nothing. Not a signal. Not a structure. Not a single piece of evidence that anything out there has ever looked up at the stars and wondered, the way we do. This is the Fermi Paradox, and it has exactly one honest answer. Something is stopping them. Some barrier, some filter. Some wall that civilizations hit is preventing intelligent life from reaching the point where we could detect it. Something so effective that across 2 trillion galaxies and 13.8 billion years, it has produced a universe that looks, from where we're standing, completely empty. In 1996, an economist named Robin Hanson gave that barrier a name. He called it the Great Filter. The idea is straightforward. For life to go from nothing, from dead rock and chemistry, to an interstellar civilization capable of spreading across the galaxy, it has to pass through a specific sequence of steps. Simple chemistry becomes self-replicating molecules. Single cells emerge. Complex cells develop. Multicellular life. Sexual reproduction. Nervous systems, brains, intelligence, language, technology, spaceflight, and finally, expansion beyond a single planet. Every one of those steps happened here on Earth, but the universe is telling us that somewhere in that sequence, almost everything fails. Somewhere in that chain is a step so difficult, so improbable, so catastrophic, that virtually nothing makes it through. That step is the Great Filter. And here is the question that keeps cosmologists and philosophers awake at night. We don't know where it is. The filter could be behind us. It could be one of the early steps, the emergence of life itself, or the jump from simple single-celled organisms to complex cells, which took nearly 2 billion years on Earth. If the filter is behind us, it means we are extraordinarily lucky. We are one of the vanishingly rare civilizations that made it through something almost nothing survives. The universe is empty not because something destroys civilizations, but because almost nothing ever gets started in the first place. We are the exception. We have already won. That's the good scenario, but the filter could be ahead of us. If the steps behind us weren't that improbable, if life emerges relatively easily, if intelligence follows naturally from evolution, if other civilizations have risen and fallen across the universe, then the filter is waiting for us somewhere in our future. Something that every civilization eventually faces, something that none of them have survived, nuclear weapons capable of ending all life, engineered pandemics, artificial intelligence that outgrows its creators, environmental collapse, or something we haven't invented yet. Some technology that every sufficiently advanced civilization eventually discovers, and that destroys them almost universally before they can spread beyond their home world. If the filter is ahead of us, we are not the lucky ones who survived. We are simply next in line. Now here is the detail that Nick Bostrom, philosopher at Oxford's Future of Humanity Institute, identified as the most important and most disturbing implication of the Great Filter, the discovery of life, elsewhere in the universe would be the worst news humanity has ever received. Not because alien life is threatening, but because of what it would tell us about the filter. If we find simple microbial life on Mars, or on Europa, or Enceladus, it means life is not rare. It means the early steps of the filter were not the hard part, which means the hard part is still ahead, which means the silence of the universe is not the silence of emptiness. It is the silence of graveyards. Every civilization that got far enough to pose a threat to itself got filtered. Bostrom has written that he genuinely hopes our search for extraterrestrial life finds nothing. A barren Mars is good news. A living Mars is the most terrifying discovery in human history, not for what it contains, but for what it implies about our future. Think about that for a moment. We are searching the cosmos hoping to find evidence of life, and the man who has thought most carefully about what that discovery would mean is hoping we find none. So where does that leave us? The honest answer is that we don't know. The Great Filter is a logical consequence of the Fermi Paradox. If the universe should be full of civilizations and we see none, something is filtering them out. But we cannot observe the filter directly. We can only reason about where it might be. What we can say is this: humanity is approaching a period unlike any before it. We are developing artificial intelligence at a pace that may outrun our ability to govern it. We are building biological tools capable of engineering diseases of unprecedented lethality. We are changing our climate in ways that are difficult to predict and harder to reverse. We have built enough nuclear weapons to end civilization, multiple times over. Every one of those is exactly what a great filter ahead of us would look like from the inside, not a cosmic catastrophe arriving from outside. A barrier we build ourselves, from our own intelligence, our own ambition, our own inability to coordinate at the scale our technology demands. The silence of the universe may not be a mystery waiting to be solved. It may be a warning. A pattern so consistent across 13.8 billion years, and 2 trillion galaxies that the only explanation is a wall that everything hits. We don't know if we're before it or past it. We don't know if the fact that we're asking the question means we're the lucky ones, or means we're exactly where every other civilization was. Right before the filter closed, the universe is silent, and we are still here. For now.